The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
BronxNet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
And welcome to BronxTalk. Beginning next week, we'll be interviewing political candidates and hosting debates right through primary day in September. So I thought before we embark on that journey, tonight we'd take a Bronx summer journey of a different sort and visit with an accomplished Bronx photographer who has a gallery opening this week in Chelsea. Tonight's show is pre-recorded, so there won't be any phone calls, but you can always send questions or comments to us at bronxtalk@hotmail.com or post them on our Facebook page, and we'll read those on the air during a future edition of our program. For now, tonight, welcome back to Bronx photog extraordinaire, Adi Talwar. Always great to see you, Adi. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
We have some unbelievable photos to show tonight, so don't go away. But I want you to just lay out for me what the show is about, how it came about that you are showing your, I guess it's abstract photos in Chelsea.
Well, about a month ago, a friend of ours, Lisa, she has a gallery in Chelsea. It's in the same building as the Aperture Foundation, which is phenomenal. It's called Illuminated Metropolis. She got in touch and wanted to know if I wanted to do a show. And I said, yes.
Of course.
Yes. I just said, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. And this was, I've shown there once before as a part of a group. This was my first solo show. So the first few hours, I thought it was going to be a group show. Then I realized, no, it's solo. Mm-hmm. And then I had to take a call on what kind of work I was going to show. So most of the work that people know me for, because I do editorial, is people, street, news kind of
Certainly,
stuff.
That's how we began to know you, was
Yes.
through all your work at parades and events and things like that.
Yes, and as I've grown as a photographer, I've just sort of played with light more and more and more. And one of the places that I play is at night when there's no ambient light, on tabletop, with a single source of light and any object. And to simplify it further, it's sort of, this series was created with just paper. Except
Paper?
Just paper and light.
You know, he's already blown my mind because I've seen the photographs. Can we we're just showing pictures, right?
Yes.
So let's
Yes.
put them up
Yes.
there and let's show the first one and take a look at the work of Adi Talwar. Now, it's being shown at the...
Illuminated Metropolis Gallery.
So this is paper?
This is paper. This is paper.
Come on! So tell me something about setting this up, or did you take one photograph, or did
No.
you take 50 to get the one you like?
So it's more of a, when I start working like this, it's you take light and you take the objects like this one also. You start lighting and you start
leave that
looking.
one up for a moment. Go ahead.
It's sort of sketching with the camera. You start making photographs and you start looking and you sort of explore and push it. And then you find stuff, you excavate. It's an exploration. It's not something that...
Did you shoot one of these and then mirror image?
Yes. So the symmetry in all the photographs has been created with
Don't
Photoshop.
run through them too quick, folks up there. We want to go back to that other one. I want to look back at that. Can we get that last one? Yeah, go ahead.
So this is shot, the one side is shot, and then Photoshop was used to create the mirror image. And it's very interesting as to how one's brain perceives depth, surface, texture, all of that.
I'm always interested in the muse of an artist. And so, did you conceive that photograph in your head beforehand, or is it really well, we do it, and I like this better, and then I keep trying, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, it's what ends up happening. I know that for this series, I like the idea of playing with light, texture, and surface. And paper is one of the simplest materials. It's sort of very minimalist.
So you took that on a scissor and you curled it, you know?
Actually, with the scissor, what happens, you end up putting stress lines. So I wanted it smooth. So this is something that I rolled.
You rolled it.
I rolled it and on a dowel, which didn't have any facets like a pencil would know. I couldn't find a round pencil at that time. And rolled it, unrolled it, put it there, did all sorts of things. Still, I was looking at it and I said, okay, this looks interesting. And then start playing with light and maybe a fill
and
card.
did you use a single point of light for those?
Yes, yes.
That is amazing.
So most of them, it's a single point of light. It might be a small source, or I might bring in a diffusion screen to make it a large source.
Put that last one up, and then we'll go to the next one, too. I mean, these are, I just think these are fascinating. And so for you, they're just because you want them to look lovely. Is that the objective?
Yeah, so the way it curls, and it's a hard source of light because you see the hard shadows.
Right.
It's a small source.
And the light is coming, one would think, from the back, because that's where it's...
From the top. From the top.
top.
It's in line with the shadow.
All right, let's do
left and
got it.
top.
Let's do that next one that we got a quick glance at. Look at this.
So
this
now-
is also paper.
This is also paper.
Now, did you cut the paper?
Yeah,
I guess
it's a strip of paper which sort of curls, and you've got light on one side and a fill card on the other side to fill the dark side with a little bit of light.
You know, I'm going to say something I'm not supposed to say, but it's like romantic. There's almost an erotic feel to it.
Yes.
In a way,
Yes.
you know, obviously.
Yes.
And you know, your mind can play with all kinds of images in it, in that realm or any other realm.
That's why I don't name them, because I don't want to add.
Could you call this one Gary on my behalf?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yes, we shall.
Put that one back up. It's just a fascinating photograph. Now, when they're on display down there, are they for sale? Is that
Yes,
kind
they
of
are
thing?
for sale.
And what do? You print to order, or they buy them right off the wall?
Well,
that's
yeah,
the-
no. So if they want the ones on the wall, yes, but I would print. So these have been printed. There are squares. They're 20 inches by 20 inches, and the largest one is a 20 by 30.
20 by
30 inches.
And then people would say they like them, and then you could sell them and all that kind of
Oh
stuff.
yeah, they're definitely for sale.
You know, what I do want to tell viewers is that Adi has many more, but we didn't want to give the whole show away.
Thank you.
So we're giving you a taste because we really do want you to go down there. Do we have that full page, or we want to just mention where the place
So
is?
this is the Illuminated Metropolis Gallery. It is
Yeah, let's put that up while we're doing this. Go ahead.
527 West,
They're
I
gonna,
think.
they're gonna put it. Here it is,
27th.
547 West.
547 West.
So that's like 27th between 10th and 11th.
10th and 11th.
And you can go Friday or Saturday
Saturday.
through August 3rd.
And sorry.
No, you had told me that you could make a special appointment.
Yes, and if people can't visit during that time, all they need to do is get in touch with me, and I will arrange for a special viewing.
The beauty of what we can do on Bronx Talk, because I'm not limited to the show, we're going to show you some other stuff that Adi's done that you won't believe. Let's look up at the next one that we've got up there. What do we got? We got two more from the black and white show, right?
Yes.
Is that what we have? All right, let's take a look. Oh my! Now this one you went for like. See, to me, what's interesting about the single point of light is that you got two or three types of shadows going.
Exactly. It's you know, it's amazing. I find that the more you simplify and the more, what's amazing to me is that all my life I've been seeing stuff and not really looking. Or the other way around.
You not really looking? I don't believe that for a second.
But you know, the more I look, the more I see. Or it's the other way around. I don't know. But
Right.
you know, more I observe.
Let's take a look here. Go ahead. What's the next? And it's interesting. They're all. Oh my goodness! Look at this.
This is This actually went on the invite. This one is one
on
of my
what?
On the invitation, and it's one
Oh,
of the
and
oldest pieces in the whole. Series.
Which is interesting. You didn't take them for this.
So some of them were taken for this show. The latest pieces are about a week or 2 weeks old, and the older pieces are about 2 years old. So this is something that I've been working on, the abstract black and white, for a bit.
Let's go back to that one. I want to ask about just using that one as an example. how long is the setup and the shoot, and do you say, well, I've got to get it done in 2 hours, or you just say, I've got the rest of the night and I'm going to come away with a photograph?
I wish it worked like that every time. Sometimes it just flows and I think, yeah, no, not a problem. Tomorrow night, I'll set up another one.
Really?
And sometimes
days.
Sometimes you can just hit you can hit your wall against the head, but it's all good because you realize you don't want to go down that rabbit hole. You want to go down a slightly different path.
You want to be satisfied with the photograph.
Oh yeah. And sometimes it'll just work like this. And
before we get to the other abstracts, so those are the 5 that we're going to show from the gallery, but there are many more at the gallery, and people should really go down and see.
Yes, please, I would love that.
Yeah, and we would all, and you would love it because you'll get to see some amazing photographs. Talk to me about the livelihood for an artist in the Bronx. Difficult. I mean, I know you've done news and you work for various corporations. Is it tough to fit all that in? Because I know you love what you do, but you got to make a living, obviously.
It is tough. It is tough. Yeah, and I come from photography is something that I've been doing professionally now for about 3 years or so. Prior to that, it was always this seductress. And
going back to that photograph that I pointed out. Go ahead.
And model making used to be the main billing business for me.
Model making?
Model making for advertising props. So I would make a big cup, small cup, that kind of thing. Or architectural work, architectural models.
And then you discovered the photography.
No, economic pressure was such that with the meltdown and everything, it started to sort of ebb. But it sort of flowed because it's about design. It's about being an artist. So,
are there times that you have looked at some of the abstract work that we saw and you think that's not good, and you pass it by, and then you play with it more, and then you go back and you say, you know what? I just ruined it because it was good the first time.
Yes.
And with photography, though, you can capture that moment and go back to it at any time, I guess.
Some of this stuff, because it's so organically placed that once I move the camera or change it, it can just vanish, and I'm thinking, oh, why did I do that? I should have done this one other option. So, yes, you can go back and go to a similar type of thing, but you never get that same exact thing. It's always changes.
Are we ready to go into the next realm?
Yes, please.
Folks, those I love too. Wait till you see this. Do this first one. This one blows me away. Go ahead. Let her look at this. Look at this freaking thing.
So this is a self-portrait.
That's funny. I thought you were going into the working mind of a talk show host. So these are actual nuts and bolts. And I have to say the TV transmission doesn't quite do the justice that I saw when it came in my email. I realize that.
Thank you.
But so these are actual nuts and bolts.
Yes.
And is that a cutout or something you put?
It's just paper again. It's just paper. I just cut the shape out, and I went down to my the building super's office, and I said, okay, I need nuts and bolts. I just need some rusted nuts and bolts. And so he just put this big, tub in front of me.
And if it was a younger man, you would have had fresh nuts and bolts. But us old guys, yes. And many points of light on this one.
It's actually, so this is actually sunlight.
Sunlight.
Coming through the window. And then I have a mirror to create,
you shoot into the mirror?
No. I have a mirror.
To angle the light.
To be another source of light, which is actually the sunlight again.
The studio is in your apartment?
Yes, it is. And this was the bedroom. I just saw the light coming in through in the evening through the window, and there's a curtain there, and it was sort of broken up, and I said, okay, I have 5 minutes, 6 minutes before this starts to change. So
honey, get my camera. I gotta get to work. The light's here for 5 minutes. We gotta make that is fantastic.
And right here, you mentioned my wife, and none of this would be possible without her support. My young daughter. You can
mention her name. It's fine.
Seema. She's the love of my life. I can't do any of this without her support. And I put her through enough craziness. So,
all right. Well, let's see more craziness. What do we got here? We got something cool. What do we got? What's the next one? Okay, could we take our logo, as much as I love my logo, now look at this. This is not worth 75 cents. By the way, these are all for sale.
These are also for sale, and this is a series that I call Concept Still Life. So there's a, like that was a self-portrait, though not one of the nuts. This is my sort of take on big business or money or anything, But you get
You know what's interesting? I saw this, and I didn't spend a lot of time with it, but I saw it when you had emailed us the photos, and I didn't realize that claw at the back of it until just now.
Yes.
So here's Adi making a rare political statement.
There's a couple of the political statement type, right?
These, go back to that. I'm sorry. As much as I like looking at my friend, this is just fascinating. Now, and you stood the quarter up, or you had it flat?
So it's actually, no, it's stood up. There's a bit of putty holding it up, and what's creating the shadow is a different shot actually. And
so you shot the light through that, which created the shadow.
And with the same camera angle, the same everything.
And then you simply in Photoshop duplicated the image to further down.
Yes.
It's okay that I'm.
Oh yeah. No. There are no secrets really, and it is a process of making the photograph. So yeah.
It's like, I'll show you recession. All right, what do we got? What's next? Oh, this one blows me away. This one, it blows me away not only that you could make this photograph, but that you conceived it.
So, yeah.
Go ahead, talk away.
So the only Photoshop here is the flame, which has been bent. The flame has been bent. The flame was just going up. That's it, right?
Wait a minute. Oh, you mean you bent the candle?
Yeah, no. In the sense, the flame of the candle was like all flames goes up. And Photoshop was used to just.
Oh, I see. Right. Of course, the flame would be vertical to the sky.
Yes.
Right. Of course, I didn't realize this is actually a suicide photo.
There's two ways of looking at it.
There's probably more than that. But
there's
there's
the enlightenment.
Yes.
Also.
Yes,
right?
I guess so.
So it depends on how one wants to look at it, half full or half empty.
Yeah, I guess so. And so you took the matches and you made this stick figure?
Yes.
And did you glue them together?
Oh yeah, they're glued together. This is they're going back to my model making background.
I have to tell you, Adi, this is the photograph. I love this photograph.
Thank you.
And he's sitting on the matchbox.
On the matchbox,
which cleverly suggests the word caution.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, it's very deliberately composed.
That is great. You guys like this? Our camera crew is like fascinated. I love this. Oh, man, I love this. Keep going. What do we got? This guy is coming back to the show every week from now on. What is this?
So this is, I saw...
Oh, it's an eggshell. Is that an eggshell?
It is an eggshell. And it's sort of this jailbreak kind of thing, right? Or waiting for to get out. And I'd seen...
Oh, jailbreak. Did you title this one, for example?
No, no. It's just, But I'd seen a version of something like this somewhere on Flickr or something, done in a very different way. So I said, okay, I've got to make my own version of this because there's many floating around.
How many eggs did you crack to get it?
No, this was, my wife had finished baking and stuff like that. So,
So you ruffled through the garbage.
Yes.
Honey, I have some good garbage for you. Would you please, maybe you can make a photograph for me. Go back. I'm sorry. I'm driving the crew crazy today. And the shadow is the real shadow.
Oh no! So here it is all actually lit. The bright light that you see inside the shell and the one that's leading to it, that's from a mirror.
From a mirror.
From the mirror, and there's one source of light which is camera left, top left.
Right, which is interesting because it actually would appear that it's illuminated from inside the egg.
Yes, it's actually the beam from the mirror.
Right. Well,
that is hitting it.
And then I don't mean to ask all your secrets, but then how did you actually go in there and put the lines? Or those?
Oh yes, those are pencil lines.
Those
were pencil lines before I put the egg down.
I can't believe you didn't break 10 eggs before you got the one. All right, what's next? Folks, let me know if we... Oh, this one drove me crazy when I saw this one.
This is food for thought.
Franz Kafka would be very proud of you at this point.
Thank you.
What is this?
Food for thought.
Food for thought. I don't. Well, you should title these.
These ones have,
This
lend
is
themselves
this
easier.
Is a grasshopper, a cockroach.
A cockroach.
But of course, we're in the Bronx.
Yes.
And what are those lines or?
It's again just light. You see, that's a fork. And
Oh, it's a fork.
it's a
Yes.
fork.
Oh my goodness gracious, that's the food for thought. Oh! As slow as I am.
And it's just again a single source of light.
It was a plastic fork.
No, it's a metal fork.
Really? Because I thought those lines in the.
No, you see the highlights.
Yeah.
It's a metal fork.
Do you particularly enjoy making something that you can't quite know what it is? Like I didn't realize it was a fork till just now. In other words, you like fooling the viewer a little bit?
It's I like to crop it in a way that it sort of you want to look a little more and sort of wonder, okay, what is that? It is something that you've seen before, but the way, like the fork, it's cropped. The way it sort of came out, it's actually a square. This shot,
okay, go
but
back
it came out as a rectangle here for whatever reasons. But so I on purpose sort of cropped
pop
it.
that one back up there, our friend the cockroach. Now, and what about the colors? You got the rich colors out of the roach, but you got no colors out of anything else.
Yes, so this is because everything else was just
Was
shades
black
of
and
gray.
white, shades of gray.
And the monitor here is a little saturated.
And you know, well, okay. You know what else I love about it? It's like a sky also. And the top left of the fork, right away, it made me thought of a sky or a sunrise or a sunset.
Yes.
I think more a sunrise, I guess.
And the highlights that you see on the surface, the white surface,
Yes.
that's the metal reflecting the hard light back.
Wow.
And that's the great thing about, you got shadow on this side and you got...
Right. And that is the beauty of the experimentation of it, because you hadn't planned on that, and then you said, oh, wow, if I move it this way.
Yes, when I put it down with the light and I saw the reflection back, I thought, wow, this is like a gift.
They tell me there's more pictures. I'm thrilled. Go ahead. What's next? Let's see the next one. I should give drum rolls for each of them. What do we got? Oh!
So
Passion.
this is about symbols and the power we give to symbols. So the number 13, which is...
Unlucky, obviously.
Well, it's a lucky number for my dad and for me, but, so I played on that. It's like we give symbols like numbers and stuff power.
It's interesting because I really noticed the 3, but did not notice the 13. And I also thought of... various flags that have that kind of 3 shape on it.
Yes, I know what you're referring to. Yes, and again, this is 2 sources of light.
And this was written or a piece of paper on a.
So the vertical 13 is actually a cutout out of paper.
Cutout.
And it's propped up on a stick. And what you see at the bottom is the shadow of that 13 because it's a red light that I have behind it.
How did you not get the stick in the picture?
Magic of Photoshop.
Okay.
And then I had to. So the base had a very slim line because I lit the wall at the back also with red light.
Right.
And I had one source of light behind this throwing red light onto the surface, where it casts the shadow.
Right.
So I just had to very gently go remove the stick and that one line.
What's interesting to me is that, if I were to actually get to the point where I could shoot the 3 and then duplicate it or get the shadow on the bottom, it would never occur to me to start dealing with the shading at the bottom, which really gives the picture a mood, the bottom and the upper left. But that's what gives it the mood, and that, of course, is the artist's eye. Right?
Yes, and that again is the way the light was falling off because the light wasn't that far.
Fantastic.
But again, yes, so I have bumped it a little. I have,
Clearly.
I've done a little bit of dodge burn kind of stuff. So to bring out what I like.
Let's see what's next.
This one is about markets
Oh,
or experts.
we're missing the bottom, I guess, at least.
Just
on
a
this.
very
little
smidgen,
yeah.
I think.
Okay, but that's just the process of putting them on TV. So this is, of course, squeezing the dollar. This recession thing is big for you. If I was your psychologist, I'd say, tell me how you feel about it.
And it's about the market's trying to, or the experts trying to predict the market, and the market has its own mind. It's
Stretch the dollar. All right, let's go to the next. I love that.
So this is my comment on tax cuts.
Yeah, Republicans love this one. Oh, wait. I don't know if I was done with that last one. Go back to the last one first. Sorry. I once went to, come back here if you would, folks. I was, I guess it must have been high school or even college or something, and they sent us to the Guggenheim. And they told us, talk to a picture and tell us what you did. When I see some of these are the kind of things that I'd like to express to, and see, they said, and see what it says back to you.
Thank you.
Anyway, that's what we're doing on the show.
Thank you.
Sorry, I had to interject that. Go ahead, what do we got? Okay, this one was okay, so those are pencils?
Yeah, it's a pencil that I broke. And that's just paper with freedom of speech.
So there definitely is maybe a larger political intent that you suggest in your work. I mean, I really wasn't aware of that. I know you well enough to know, but it's clear that some of it comes out there. This is your way of expressing certain things.
It's whatever's happening around in my head, or whatever I'm sort of reacting to, and then I'm thinking about something, and then I'm trying to express it as an image.
All right, do we got time for one more image? We got time for one more image, and then I want to put up the address and talk about the show. Oh, yes, this was the final one.
Yes. So this is pop art.
Yes, it's a balloon, a broken balloon. Did you actually is it actually a broken balloon?
No, it's actually paper. It's actually a paper printout of a balloon which I tore up. And I thought, pop art.
Adi Talwar, thank you so much for making our summer evening just perfect. And to make your summer afternoon and evening perfect, let's put up the information about his gallery. And then for folks who want to get to you, like they want to purchase some of the things your email is there, and
yes,
right?
Yes, so they can get in touch with me at adi@rawlat.com, or my website address is there. Right. Rawlat.com/Adi Talwar, or
just search for
Adi Talwar, you'll find me.
He's on Facebook. But he's a really good guy, and he's an amazing photographer, and I really appreciate it. And let's put the information about the show one more time. Oh, they're telling me time's up. I don't care. Put the information up for the show. It's much more important than what I've got to say. To tell you can we put that? There's the full page. The Illuminated Metropolis Gallery at 547 West 27th Street, Suite 529, and there's the information. Folks, we'll be back next week. I will tell you that next week we're going to begin a series of political shows. We're going to have public advocate Bill de Blasio with us next week, and then 6 straight Monday nights, a lot of different shows from what we've done tonight. Beginning July 29th, straight through primary day, we'll present an unprecedented series of debates, giving you a chance to hear from your candidates. We'll ask them what they think of these photographs, and then we'll get them some real impressions in all the council races in the Bronx and everything else. See you next week. Good night. Thanks to Adi. It was great work.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Don't get up. Stay there. Stay there.
The views and opinions